Calm myself down a little bit. Hello, and welcome. If you are new here, I'm Javon Gray, and I help high achieving women escape the anxiety matrix, right? So, those exhausting loops of overthinking, emotional reactivity, and stress driven burnout, so that they can finally enjoy the life that they've worked so hard to build. Now, what is one of the biggest lies that the anxiety matrix tells you? That's one of the things that we're going to get into today with this masterclass on the What If Whisperer. So, this is the fifth in a 7 series event that I have been running since last Monday. And if you are interested at all in access to all 7 of the events in the series, then you need to DM me a brain emoji. This will, of course, work best on Instagram, but it is what it is. Let me see what I can do with that. Oh, no, I'm sorry. All right, I was just getting some weird from over here, but it looks like everybody is back on track. So, this session tackles the endless loop of worst case scenario thinking that we all know very well. So, this is the one that hijacks your nervous system. It steals your ability to be present, and it slowly poisons your relationships. And today I'm going to walk you through identifying the pattern, understanding the emotional loop that's driving it, and rewiring it using tools from Inner Revolution. So, by the end of our time together today, you will be able to catch those early warning signs of like that what if spiral. Before it completely takes over, you'll see how your overthinking is actually about emotional safety and not logic. And you will practice a powerful technique that can help to pull you out of the anxiety matrix in real time. So you'll learn a simple but effective tool that will help you to regulate your emotions while shifting the story in your head. So let's kick it off with the intro. So let me know if any of this speaks to you, if this sounds about right. So if your brain is constantly writing this horror movie script, right, starring you, your partner, and your deepest fears, then you are not anxious. You are stuck in a loop. And this is something that is positive because loops can be broken. Okay. And that's something that we're going to get into today. I want to speak directly to you if you are that person who tries to like think your way out of panic or logic your way out of it. Those spirals are real, but they are interruptible, like we talked about. So here's the truth. No, Mr. Rower, you cannot co-host. All right. So here is the truth. You don't need 6 months of journaling. You don't need 6 months of retreat. Think of, you can actually plug in anything that you do habitually. You don't need a long period of time in order to quiet your mind. You just need to learn how to catch the spiral before it takes the wheel. You need to learn how to interrupt this particular pattern. This session is one of the most common breakthroughs that I see inside of Inner Revolution. We take women who live in constant what if fear and we help them to finally experience peace that isn't just for show, right? It's lasting. You constantly have access to it. So, we all know what this what if loop sounds like. Well, what if he's cheating on me? What if I say the wrong thing to her again? What if I mess up this relationship permanently? What if we don't ever become friends again? What if I don't ever know what it's like to have a loving relationship with my mom? What if I die today? Right? This isn't just about insecurity. It's a nervous system trap. It activates your body, your imagination, and your fear and stress responses all at once. And before you even had a chance to breathe, your body thinks that the threat is real. Okay, so that's what we're getting at here. So let me do a quick little check-in on Instagram. Look, I didn't forget about the Instagram, folks. All right. So, um, all right. So, um, this is, sorry, I've got to look back at my notes. Okay. Okay. So now we need to break down what is really happening here. So, these what if spirals are your brain's attempt to create safety, right? And it's not even necessarily that the safety is like in advance or just in case. It is because it's usually a an attempt to distract yourself from feeling something else, right? So you start going off in your head about all the things that could be going on, um, all the things that have happened in the past. You escape into that because the present fear, whatever emotion it is that you would be feeling in its place, feels more like doom, right? It feels worse to you. It feels either more unknown to you because it's something that you've been avoiding for a long period of time, or it is an emotion that you have felt before that you're maybe familiar with that you would prefer not to feel right now. Okay, so oftentimes this could look like boredom. That's one of the classic ones, right? That like I don't have anything right now to distract me and I don't know what's going to come up and there are tons of things that could come up, but and half of those I really don't want to ever revisit. But what I'm going to do right now is think of this thing, right? This is familiar to me. When X, Y, or Z happens, when I have this space, that's my go-to thought, right? So I just grabbed that. I picked that up because even though when I'm experiencing it, experience it as if it's unpleasant. I experience it, or even afterward, I look back and I'm like, this is unpleasant. Even despite that, in the moment, it feels very familiar, right? And like I said, subconsciously, your body is aware that what this is being replaced by, what this is being replaced with, feels better. You have a lower stress response to it than you would um, this other thing. So, like in the case of boredom, the way that you respond to feeling bored, to feeling like nothing, is way worse, right? To being in this completely unknown space, that is way worse than you having flashbacks to when you had this car accident, or to you ruminating over, the neglect and assault that you experienced when you were a kid. Okay, cool. So, um, now in addition to this, so that was all about the attempt to create safety. So the next level of this, right, about like what's actually happening, what's taking place inside you right now, is that your body can't tell the difference between imagination and reality. Your body's going through the same process either way. So your nervous system gets completely flooded by this thought, and everything rushes in. All the emotions rush in, and it seems like everything is going on in your body right now. And you can practice this. You can practice this right now, right? If you were to call on like one of the best experiences that you could think of, the best experience of your life, the best experience of this past year, that comedy show that you went to, right? If you were to cause yourself to laugh, that's one of the reasons why, um, you know, comedies do so well, is because it can help to increase your mood a little bit. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that's inside of that we ain't gonna get into right now, but it can help to raise your level of consciousness and make you feel a little bit better. And it is just triggering things that you already know or you have already experienced. It's not actually providing anything new. Um, but it's not the fear that hurts, right? It's not being anxiety that is actually a problem. Okay? It's not the feeling that is going on in you. It's that loop. Because, and this is significant because it's I am anxious, right? I am having these symptoms. I am having these sensations. I'm having these thoughts occur. And then I assign this other meaning to it, right? And it's that pattern that is unpleasant. And that loop, like I said, can be interrupted. And so, how can you shift this? So, the first thing that you need to do is recognize when you're doing it. Okay, which is very, very tricky for many of us because we all, like, this is a universal, this is a human learned pattern, right? Very, very common in humans, period, is to quickly move from one thing to another, to assign something a meaning and move on. And so instead of assigning and dismissing like we do so many other things when we're trying to move from one thing to the next, etc., it requires that we keep that distracted me. So instead of us rapidly assigning meanings and categorizing things really quickly, it forces us to pay attention the whole time, which can be pretty. It's a very large and daunting task. So, the first thing you want to do is catch it. Okay. You don't want to necessarily name it. You don't need to say anything. You don't need to create any thoughts about it. You just need to bring your awareness to what it is that you are feeling. Okay. The next thing, super helpful, is for you to ground yourself, ground the body. And that could be you literally putting your body on the ground, right? And oftentimes, depending on where I have let myself get to, when it is that I caught myself in the process, how long I have been ruminating on something automatically, I will go straight to the ground, right? Body to floor. All right. This could also look like using your breath, you tapping, you stretching, some like quick somatic cue you can do. It could be you removing your shoes, you putting all the pads of your toes onto the actual ground and spreading them out. Okay. But some sense of reminders of where you are, right? And what is actually going on in the moment right now. And then from there, you can actually do something different. You can replace that. And I'm not going to tell you what to replace that with, right? That is something that you can determine on your own. Probably anything would be better than what it is that you're currently doing, right? Which is why you will still be watching this video, whatever, 14, 15 minutes in. But the deeper truth here is that you are not broken. You're just wired to protect yourself, even from imaginary threats. And when you rewire this pattern, everything shifts. So you get less tension in your relationships, less overreacting to small issues, more space to actually enjoy the people, the things, the happenings of your life. And this is what it means to unplug from the anxiety matrix. You stop letting fear be your default operating system. Okay, so this is, like I said, session 5 of 7, and there's still time to get the replays and to join for the final 2 sessions live. And the revolution is going to open this week, April 4th, for a full rewiring experience, including weekly activations, monthly masterclasses, personalized support to heal the emotional patterns that are sabotaging your peace. And if you are down, if you are with it, then just DM me the words ready and I will tell you exactly how to get started. I will see you soon. Thank you so much for your attention. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.